everybody, welcome back. It's Shelby with Ginger Boom Studios. Today we're going to be working on some snazzy art homework. Sorry this is a little late to my 6 subscribers, but hey, what up? Really sorry, I'm still really sick and my house sitting stay got extended for like another week. So I'm still house sitting. So there's 5 barking dogs who are yelling and annoying. And I have to record in my car to avoid their screaming being in the background. They're all pretty well behaved, but they do love to bark. So, hi. I'm still sick. That's another reason why this is late. But I decided we'd do art homework together because it's something I had to do anyway. So, let's talk a little bit about the class that I'm taking. And then I'll talk about the art piece a little bit. I'm taking a class called No, it's not Intro. It's something like that. It's like basic graphic design and color theory. It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more of a color theory class, and we're on like week 2, and so far it doesn't seem that way. I'm not loving the class. Like, I don't hate it, but I just don't love it either. A lot of this stuff is stuff I already know because I have an art degree. So what did I decide to do and take this opportunity to do? Learn pixel art. I ding dong fooled myself, because just the font took me like 2 hours to really like it. 2 freaking hours. So I did the font in Photoshop, and then I was like, I don't want to do that. I prefer working on my iPad. So I was like, can I do it in Procreate? Yeah, I can pretty much do the same thing. And if I save it as a Photoshop file, my teacher's not really going to know the difference, which is super cool. And then I bring it into Photoshop just to size it up to the size that he wants or whatever. You can see me pretty much throughout this whole video just struggling with Procreate. But, I don't know. That's just the way it is when you're starting with any kind of new program. But I'd rather take more of this time to learn more about Procreate, I think, than learn more about Photoshop. Because, well, that's not true. I know a ton about Photoshop because I started using Photoshop in high school for photo editing, like serious photo editing for my digital photography class. And so therefore I know a lot about it already. I also took a digital illustration class which only focused on Photoshop in my pre-college program. You can see I fucked up the layers there. I'm still just getting used to it, guys. I'm trying my best. So for this assignment, I'm not really 100% sure what we're supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be kind of related to the final project. That's one thing I really hate about this class, is that like some of the creative stuff is so vague. It's like, make something, and I'm like, okay, but I like structure. I'm an animator. Sorry, I have a cough drop in my mouth. I hope you can't hear that. But like, I like structure. I like being told what to do. So it's really frustrating. I'm struggling so hard on the freaking iPad to make them merge. I don't know what I was doing wrong. So you're just gonna see me struggling in the background while Tumblr notifications are going off. I was not having a good Procreate day. I finally figured it out. It's fucking annoying. Jesus. But I am getting the hang of it. Slowly. But Photoshop for me has never really worked out. And I do think sometimes if you fight with the medium so much that you can't use it effectively, it's a problem. So I can use Photoshop for a lot of photo stuff, but for drawing, I absolutely hate it. Which is weird to me because I love Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Animate. I even like After Effects and Premiere. I just hate Photoshop with a burning passion. And I can't make it work for me, and I don't like it. I feel like Procreate is so much more intuitive and so much more cost effective that it just seems really stupid to me to continue fighting against this thing that I hate so much, you know? Like, if other people love Photoshop, good for them. But it's not for me, you know? It's just not my thing. So, this class, we're making a fake graphic design business because it's a freaking graphic design class. Why do I have to take a bunch of graphic design classes to be a 3D animator? I don't really know. I couldn't really tell you. It annoys the fuck out of me a little bit. But I am trying to learn whatever I can so I can apply it to later stuff, you know, like about design and composition and colors and that kind of stuff. But so I picked the name Pixel Pixie because we had to read a whole bunch of stuff about like picking business names and making things memorable. And then after I picked that, I was like, oh, like what? Oh, sorry, I gotta chew a little bit of my freaking cough drop. I'm sorry. This is very unprofessional, but you guys should all be used to this from me by now. I just kind of like to ramble and make art. It's my thing. Yeah, so I thought a lot about the pixels and kind of my fashion sense. My favorite kinds of fashion to look at are like late 80s, early 90s, and then like also like kawaii Japanese type fashions, which were also heavily inspired by that. So I was like, oh, I'm going to make like a fake graphic design business whose target audience is just people who really like those eras of fashion, because it's a large array of people, if I'm being honest. Like 200 something thousand people follow Pixie Locks, who is a kawaii fashion. She's a fashion student. She's super cool. Like, that's awesome. A bunch of people still really love 90s and 80s fashion, and some of it's like coming back in style, which makes me super excited because now I can buy clothes more easily. I was thinking about all the really memorable things about the 90s that I can remember. I was born in 1993, so most of my conscious memories of the 90s are obviously the very late 90s. But there's still so much just nostalgia for that time period. Do I want to move back then? No. Gay rights were shit. But I love the fashion. I miss a lot of the toys, honestly, a lot of the shows. Some of them don't hold up very well, but that's okay. I think I am going to have to go back and work on this cassette tape a lot more because it's looking wonky, which is fine. I don't mind if things look a little wonky, you know, but it's just not quite adding up. And thankfully this is just a draft, so please do not think this is the final at all, because this isn't even what the final project is. And here's what annoys the crap out of me about a lot of these graphic design classes I have to take in my degree, especially the beginning ones, is they're like, the final project is going to be a collage. No, I don't want to do a collage, fam. Collages are for 5th graders. I don't want to do a collage. How am I supposed to put that in my portfolio and be like, yeah, I'm a serious artist, man. Look at this collage. Like, and I know the point is that this is supposed to be a beginning class, and if I was like an 18 or 19-year-old taking this class, it would really help me learn like Photoshop and Illustrator and that kind of crap. But like, I'm not an 18 or a 19-year-old. I'm a 26-year-old who has an art degree. So I wish there was some easy way for me to skip this class, but there isn't. And I decided to make that decision when I, was accepted into this school. They were like, hey, do you want us to look at like your old classes and take as many credits as we can? And I was kind of like, well, will my grades affect scholarship opportunities, pretty much? Because like I've said before, I had 2 surgeries during my first art degree, and I don't have like any failures or anything. I have a couple of C's, mostly A's and B's, and then I have a bunch of classes one semester that I had to withdraw a bunch from because I had my surgery, like my massive one where I had an organ removed, and the teachers were not as accommodating as they had led me to believe they would be, which really sucked, even though I was doing the work, I was putting the time in. So they were kind of like, well, yeah, the grades would affect that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, then I don't want those grades to show up because I'm poor and I can't miss out on scholarship and other opportunities, so it sucks that I have to take like beginning classes again, pretty much. But at the same time, I'm learning so many things I didn't learn at my first school. Like, that's how I have to keep my morale up, you know. It's like, hey, like a lot of this theory stuff that you kind of are finding a little dry, a little dull, you didn't get to learn any of this the first time. So while a lot of like the Photoshop skills and stuff are very easy for you and seem really obvious for you, that doesn't mean that this is going to be useless, you know? And I think it's hard to remind myself of that because just sucks sometimes, you know? It's hard to have one art degree and go back because you really want to specialize in 3D animation now instead of 2D because the market has changed and you just want to animate, and then you're doing this crap, you know? But I am really enjoying watching a bunch of tutorials on pixel art and trying to learn a lot more about pixel art. I think the font actually came out fantastic, and I'm not going to fiddle too much more with that. The background I might even change out, actually, because for my business card senior year of my last degree, I did like a NES controller, kind of, but in it wasn't Pixel, it was in Illustrator. Came out beautiful. I still have a crap ton of those cards around because I never was able to really use them or give them out. I think I might want to try that, actually, because I feel like, I don't know, I'm either going to have to pull out a bunch of cassettes and look more closely. I think it's just something off about proportion, honestly. So if I can fix that, I think we're golden. But it was incredibly annoying, which is fine, but I don't want to struggle a whole ton, and I also want to do a lot of revisions for me, you know, because the final freaking project is going to be a collage. If I can even have like one piece that's not a collage that I get out of this that I can really be proud of, then that's enough, you know? I think that's how I need to start looking at the classes that I wouldn't really traditionally like. And I'm a little bummed because I thought it was going to be more color theory, like I said, but you know what? It's not the end of the world. God, please ignore how difficult it is for me to resize these. I was fighting Procreate so much, and I'm cringing looking at this because it was hard and I don't know why. I don't know if it was the Apple Pencil or what, but man, scaling things in here sucks. So just try and avoid it. But we're getting close to the end of the video. As I said, I've been sick. I don't have the coronavirus, no matter what anyone freaking says, but I'm sick, so this was about the most I could do. It's just kind of whip together some homework. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and, see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.